You could barely play it on the last PC, but now the graphics and the smoothness. I'm afraid to ask what your last PC was, because I have a feeling it's going to be fairly close to my current PC. My current PC being a 1080 Ti is being the highlight of it, which 1080 Ti's are still good, but I have like a 7700K. So it's good, and it was really good whenever it released. It was sort of good when I got it, and it's definitely falling behind now, because I am seeing requirements getting closer and closer to what I have. I saw one with a 1050 as a minimum requirement, and I'm like, oh, this might not be something I can record. So I might have to stick with indie stuff for the most part nowadays, because frankly, they're actually semi-concerned about the accessibility of their titles. You now have an Omen Ryzen 7 3060 Ti. Ooh, nice. I'm glad you got a 3060, because I've heard mixed things about 3050s. So, of course, I think 3050, if I remember correct. Oh, God. Yep, they murdered him. Okay, so we're going to drink potions, and we're going to get him up, and then kick him in the face. And drink potions. There's one down. And yeah, we're just going to knock them in the corner and hopefully get them down before we die. I think we'll be fine, because that pillar there should actually provide us with a little... Can you stop healing him, you assholes? They get in the mood, and then they just start healing everybody. So yeah, let's drink our last potion. We can buy more of them. In fact, they dropped several of them. We'll have to go back to revive Mercenary anyway.
I am overburdened.
Did I really? Yes, I picked that up. And drink that. Drink that. I probably should have been putting them in the belt, but it's fine. So, Ort Rune, Mana Potion, Healing Potion. Grab the Flail. Didn't really get any other good drops from that, unfortunately. Let's grab there, get the gem out of there, make ourselves the good Flail. Which actually is not a bad Flail, by the way. You just get it and have to immediately destroy it, though, which makes it kind of crappy. It's one reason why people used to skip this back in the day. 1080 Ti is between 3060 and 3060 Ti. No ray tracing is the big issue that mine runs into. So I don't get the aesthetics that a lot of people would. So let's go ahead and pop that portal. I do need to fill up my scrolls. Let's see if I can figure out how to fill up my scroll things. Hello. Can I? Yeah, I can get a few of them. There's just no way to just have it auto-fill, though. So we're at 15 and 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully I counted right. Close enough. So we have the blues that we need to. And then we'll dump these off in there. Oh, between 3070. As far as just like raw capabilities, yeah, you're gonna run in, I think we're gonna start running into that with whatchamacallit, CPUs as well. Where we, especially with the efficiency core thing going on, I think we're gonna run into a situation where we have a lot of faster, older CPUs actually being positioned weirdly between two modern ones. But hey, Huntron, how's it going? And thankfully, games can still look damn good without RTX. RTX is just if you really want to melt your GPU in frames. Weirdly enough, I don't know why this is a common thing recently, but for some reason, low requirement games have been like melting GPUs like crazy lately. It started with Lost World, and then Diablo 2 was doing the same thing, and a few others, where it's just like, if you don't put a frame limiter on that, it's just going to cook it. It's like, why? Why not put a frame limiter in there so you're not completely destroying your users' systems? Is it because you want to be able to say you can get 500 FPS? Doesn't matter. unless you're playing like a competitive shooter like Counter-Strike, you don't need more than even like, you don't need more than 60 FPS. You don't even need 30 FPS on a lot of games. But you definitely don't need more than 120 unless you are playing that. And yes, sloppy programming is a thing. But also, game development has gotten weird. It's in a bit of a weird space, and I don't think a lot of us really acknowledge that. Because back in the day, programming video games, you were definitely a lot closer to board with those. A lot closer to the hardware, that is, than you are with modern systems. Because a lot of people are using things like Unity, Unreal Engine. They're using these engines and then building into it without really touching the metal at all. But, so a lot of these things are just not necessarily automatically bad programming on their part, but bad implementation on the engine. Like, they use the wrong kind of setup for their particular goal to actually achieve it. It's very strange. Now, Diablo 2 and stuff like that, yeah, it doesn't really have any grounds to do that. It's not built on that. But you run into this with some games that do that, and it's like, very strange. Because most, like, even amateur games don't have that issue. Hey, we got the waypoint really quick. Let's see. I will approve that in just a second. Probably because they don't have limitations for the menus, so people get like 1,000 FPS in the menus, which gets melting temperatures. Yup. There we go. Show that. There we go. That works. You're embedded engineer? Okay. Bare metal is all you do. Awesome. I did study software engineering many moons ago. I don't remember 90% of it. But, yeah. So I know a little bit about it. It's just my brain is old and I have forgotten many things. I've forgotten more things than I've known. Wait, it doesn't work that way. I've forgotten many more things than I currently know. There we go. That's proper logic. Okay, so that... Actually, I should probably check which direction the waypoint was facing. No OS, yeah. Just interacting with assembly, even. Assembly's as low as I ever got. So let's go ahead and see. That is facing out left, so our way is down. And yes, you can actually... One thing I find really interesting on this, by the way, is that I can use the keyboard with certain commands without it switching out of controller mode. Which is kind of an odd little detail. Hey, Mocha, how's it going? I'm finally streaming while you're awake. Haha. I might change my streaming schedule. I don't know yet. Things have just... They're weird. Things are weird. God dang it. And I didn't revive my mercenary. Do I need to revive my mercenary? Nah. It should be the stairs. Let's see. And I'm doing fine. How are you doing? I might not be doing fine after this, because these guys are going to be a little bit hard for me to kill. Can I heal? Thank you. I pressed the button a few times. It just didn't register. So there's one Bloodlord down. Yeah, we're going to burn through a decent amount of mana doing this, because frankly these guys are going to be a royal pain in the butt to deal any damage to otherwise. As you can see, our just normal axe swing, not a lot of damage. Unless we get a crushing blow on them, which is kind of unlikely. And I still wish it showed the life at the top, but it doesn't. It only shows their statuses. Can you come down here and be a jerk to my face? Come on, come down. Thank you. I don't want him, like, up in the nonsense where the council is. Because I am going to have to fight at least one of them. So how are we looking on potions? Let's go ahead and plop that in. But yeah, it's been a while. So yeah, my brain is not super well suited to arguing with that in my logical corners of hell. And things may have changed from whenever I was studying it, which was, geez, that would have been 15 years ago. Good Lord. Things have definitely changed since then. You've been drowning yourself in Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance? Yay! Yeah? Are you doing the PC version or are you doing the console version? Because I know that they did a re-release of it on PC. And I've heard mixed reviews. And I'm slightly curious if the mixed reviews are actually, you know, accurate or if they are just people being salty. That it's not original platform. Because there are people who get very mad about that. They get very, very mad about that. Hey, Thanos, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. So let's see. Now, as far as the length of this stream goes, we will finish Act 3. We are going to continue until either my water bottle is empty or the delivery shows up. Because then I will have to go and get that. Which should be between within the next 30 to 45 minutes. And that is actually a really good find right there. If we were going to do, like, actual melee instead of... Because this has plus maximum damage. Do we have anything on swap? That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Nice. Okay, so we're going to pop this up because we might die here. We have everything set up there. Ooh, lordy. Sounds like a poor port, but that adds to the charm of it from what you've heard. Oh, God. After 20 years, and yes, you're loving it. I have the physical copies. I have been tempted to play them on the Let's Play Everything channel. I have only played a little bit of them. So let's go ahead and build up our charges. And then boop, boop, boop in the face. Build up charges again. Now, Tiger Strike is going to get very strong with 2.4 if they change it how I think they're going to change it. Because guess what? That's going to boost the... It's going to let you let off a few high damage hits in a row without having to recharge because, yeah, it boosts your percent for each little orb. So Amulet, yes. Mephisto's Soulstone, yes. Rest of that, no.
Mephisto. You were no match for me.
Aside from certain small issues, you had no real problem. Plus, you can play with your... Hey, cool. You can play with your people. Well, he got a meteor off. It kind of sucks. Hi, Cody. How's it going? But I am working on a video that's a... Speaking of ports and remakes and stuff like that, I am working on... Oh, hi. That's Gleam Scythe. Do I really want to bother picking up Gleam Scythe? No. Gleam Scythe is okay. It's not good for us, though. And I don't need it for any other character. I'm holding down a button. Let me pass. But, yeah. I am working on a video that is kind of a review of the transition from Resurrected to... from LOD to Resurrected. I do have the general review of Diablo 2 done and ready to edit. Some of the other things that... I have a poll coming up later tonight for what videos to cover on the Game Shop. But I have a poll coming up for that. And I'm going to release those polls rather regularly. Just because smart YouTube stuff. It's a thing. But... Let's see, is that any good? It's not bad. It's not worth it for me, though. And boots, we have better. But yeah, I have the Diablo review thing, but I also have a poll coming up that's going to let people request specific games that I cover. Basically put a few games on there that I have that I want to cover, as well as a few that I got press keys for that I can cover. Works flawlessly on your potato PC? I hope so. Because they didn't update the graphics or anything, did they? I didn't think they did, but I think they just made them work on a modern system. Okay, so we've got that, which can go in there. Thankfully, we don't have to use the cube for really anything until Nightmare difficulty again. So we can use it for storage. We can pop you out. And we can get that going. There we go. We're ready to fight again. So, what do we have waiting for us down here? Pain. That's what we have waiting for us, is pain. The plan is for me to get through all 7 of the classes. I might, whenever 2.4 releases, I might just do group ladder things and let people just drop in as I'm playing a ladder character, but I don't think I plan to pursue ladder like other people do. I don't feel like racing against people like Llama and stuff like that. One, he is a good speedrunner. I know speedrunning tactics, but my implementation of them is probably inefficient because I can't stand having a messy inventory. You have seen me get pissed off at the inventory on this character just because the auto-arrange wants to arrange it by size. But, yeah, whenever we get around to the ladder season, more likely to have it as well. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. Blood Golem. That's actually not a terrible shield. I'd use it if I was a Necro and was really desperate. You tried Assassin once, got annoyed and rage quit. To you, Assassin only seems fun when high level and spamming traps. They're working on fixing it. I don't know how well they're going to fix it. And anyone who says they do know is lying to you. Honestly, there's only like maybe 3 people I can think of getting insider knowledge on it, and that would really piss me off if they were doing that. But it wouldn't surprise me either. But for the most part, if anybody's saying they have inside knowledge that this, and this is going to happen, don't believe them yet. Because just wait for the PTR. We'll figure out what it is then. When the PTR releases, I'll probably do a video on it if I can get into the PTR. Don't know if they'll let me in. We'll see. And yay, another bot. I'll deal with it in a little bit. You know how they're going to fix it? But yeah, only things that are confirmed are things that they said in the stream. And while I've made it through most of the stream at this point. Game came out when you were 16, you're now 36, liking it like 20 years ago. Awesome. What's the build currently looking like for this assassin? We are currently just being dorks. We are literally playing a martial arts assassin with a controller as part of like a challenge. And I keep bringing my controller up close to my face, and you guys can probably hear me clicking it. Because I'm going to wear out the buttons on this cheap Xbox controller in like a heartbeat. That's the reason why I'm using this instead of like my good controller. Because I'm not going to play this with my good controller and wear out my buttons like crazy. Thank you for catching the bot. I still find it weird that they've stopped posting them in like comments, but they post that random stuff in stream chat, and it's not a link. I mean, it's a link to a virus if you actually type it out, but it's not an actual link in the chat, so it's like, cool. Guys are dicks. Let's drink that. Drop out another shadow. Have you said that you're beside yourself with joy? I mean, that's a good place to be. It's a good place to be. Oh, my speaking hold has not been working well today. So, you'll have to forgive me if I occasionally either stutter or just completely go into, like, weird babbly noises. My speaky hole is broken. The orifice upon my face has malfunctioned. To put it in an even grosser sounding way. And Fist of Fire works good in normal up to Nightmare. Past that, like any male build, you need plus skills and Infinity Stick. You don't need an Infinity Stick for most elemental builds. Infinity helps, it makes it easier, but you don't need it. I mean, we went through with the easiest sorceress build to beat the game with, and that is the Fireball Orb Sorceress. Hands down, easiest sorceress build to beat the game with. Cause of Thunder is best, but people love Phoenix, just don't like it due to charging. I do think, with the changes that they said they're going to make to charging, which they have said that they're going to make it where it only uses one of the charges, the charging skills will become more useful from that alone. But it's still not going to be perfect. Hopefully they give some of them a little bit more of a buff. You haven't noticed anything about my speaking? That's because I don't shut up. By the time I've said something stupid, it's already gone by and 12 other words have come out. Yeah, I'm trying not to skip fights. It's one, good for experience, and two, I just feel like getting used to the controller is more important to me than going quick. Because I have a feeling, and this is just one of those things, I've kind of noticed it while digging through the Diablo 2 YouTube end of things, that very few people are actually covering the fact that there is a distinctly different meta for controller than there is for keyboard and mouse. They function so differently that you really do choose different skills. Let's see. You use Andy plus Eth Infinity and Fortitude on your Merc and Javazon. Yeah, that's a fun build. Not necessary, but it's fun. I say this, mainly, I'm not really concerned about getting high-end stuff. I don't have an Infinity on my account, on my online version. I have it offline, but it's mostly because I have found everything I need offline to do any kind of like weird experiments. I don't really feel the need to go super farmy online. It doesn't really serve a purpose to me because I don't do PvP. I don't care about PvP. It makes me salty and I'm a toxic person whenever I do it. But so I'd rather just, you know, actually have fun playing the game rather than get salty and have my blood pressure go up. Find a better Javazon gear? Awesome! What did you end up finding for your Javazon? Did you end up getting a... oh, God. Thunderstroke? No, you probably got a Titans.